Hello everybody, we are on handheld, I'm holding this. I just realised I never filmed an intro for this video, so I'm going to do it right now. Do we mind? We're up close and personal today for the intro, I hope you don't mind. Today's video is going to be a 2025 reset of all of my reading, book related things. As you've just seen in my intro clip, put away the books from my December wrap up. Gonna reorganize my TBR cart because my TBR cart is a mess. I've got some new books that I want to go on there. I think I have a little sneaky book haul in here at some point because I did buy more books. I bought another book which isn't even in my book haul. I'll show you now. Reading it maybe right now. Kind of excited about it. What else are we gonna do? We're gonna go through my new reading journal, which is so cute. I'm having so much fun with it. I love my reading journal so much. It's my favorite thing to do every day. It brings me so much serotonin to fill in those little squares. That's about it. I hope you enjoy this video and I will see you some other time because this is me from the future. Bye. So I have my TBR cart here, which I'm gonna go through and probably unhaul some books because there's a few books on here which I've had since I think before even 2023, since probably 2022, which I don't think I'm ever gonna get to. It's hard though because it's like, what's the point just like getting rid of the book, but then also it's taking up space. I'm never gonna read it. I just kind of need to make room for my new books. I'm just gonna like take them out, take them off one by one, probably not talk about every single one, but kind of just reorganize everything. Yeah, this is my December TBR, which did not really get read. So isn't that just hideous? I honestly wish I hadn't bought this because of what. Never ever buy books with paperback sprayed edges. They're freaking hideous. This is where we're kind of thinking that we can maybe get rid of some things. Here I have my reading journal from last year and from 2023 actually, and in this I have a page which is a TBR cart, and that's all of the books that I had on my TBR from 2023, so we can see which ones I didn't get to in 2024 and we can debate whether we want to keep them. The Principle of Moments is an Illumicrate book which I just have never really cared to read. Maybe do a video giving some of these books that I'm gonna unhaul a chance, like read the first 50 pages, read the first however many pages, like blast through a few and like decide whether I'm going to keep them or not. I feel like that would be a fun reading vlog, so that's going in the unhaul pile. Shall we make an unhaul pile up here? So that can go up there. This is hard because it's part of like a series and I've read the first two, but I would literally just be reading this for the sake of reading it. So I've read enough Tessa Bailey to know that she's not really an author for me. Like I don't have an issue with her writing, it's just not really for me. This might be a good one potentially for my video I was just talking about, because if this hooks me it could be really great, but I just need to like start it and I really don't want to, so we'll put that there and maybe give it a go. Yeah, this is one that's definitely gonna get unhauled. When I bought this I was like reading a lot of little romances like this. Don't really read as many anymore, and if I do read them it's one that I'm really excited about, like an author that I really love, so probably not ever gonna pick that up. The same, I think I got this from The Works. When I bought this I don't think I was really interested in the story. It was a book that I'd heard about that was being sold, part of the free for £6 of The Works, so I was like, oh, I've heard of that, I'll get it, but have never really wanted to read it, so put that up there as well. This pisses me off because I bought this not that long ago, but I read the other like book in this interconnected series and it was just nothing. It was a whole big nothing burger, so I don't think I'm gonna be picking this up, so we will pop that up there. So beautiful though. I love the like actual book under the thingy of this. I just know that this isn't really the kind of book that I'm gonna enjoy. I think that's one I can let go of. Okay, that is that. I'm now gonna put everything back. Hello. I think we should have a little chat about my reading goals now. Haven't thought that much about them. I feel like last year, similarly to this year, my overall reading goal is just to like enjoy it and not make it into a goal kind of thing. Come on, I'm so profesh. Okay, that's better. Overall, just enjoy it and not be that goal orientated. But I do, it's fun to like be like, oh, I can do this. And if I don't do them, it is what it is. Why don't we go through my 2024 reading goals and see what we completed? Completed like the overall number goal, which was 100 books, which again, I was like, I don't care. If I read 100 books, I do. If I don't, that's fine. But I read like 100 and something, like 5 or something like that. 5, 6, 7. And it looks like I completed 4 of the 7. The ones I did was finish the Shatter Me series, finish the Knock 'Em Out series, read a new release on release day, and end the year with a smaller TBR than I started, which that one was the biggest. That was the only goal that I was actually like, I really want to stick to that. What I did not do was complete the Sarah J Maas universe. Didn't get to Crescent City, so didn't do that. I didn't fully annotate a classic. The fact that I didn't do that in the whole year, not even once, is crazy. And I didn't finish the Magnolia Park series. I think I read 1 more book in that series. I have my new page. I think this looks so much cuter, by the way. I love, like, this is very just aesthetically pleasing to me. But I have, again, just 100 books to fill in those squares. And looking at my computer, I have a little list. So far I want to reread the Harry Potter series because I reread, I think, the first 3 books and like 60% of the 4th book in lockdown, which was before I actually like started reading like consistently, which is kind of crazy. It was like, oh, I want to read, I'll read that series because I know I like that series. I want to reread that, and I've put like 4 out of 7 in brackets next to it because if I don't fully complete the series, I wouldn't consider that like a failure. If I get through like 4 books in that series, I'd be like, okay, I did that. Also have reread Throne of Glass, 4 out of 7, because I think it'd be fun to reread Throne of Glass, but again, it's very, very long when we get to the last books, so I feel like that would take up like months of the year. Again, I want to end the year with a TBR that's less than 50. I'm not going to do less than what I have right now because I have around like 40 to 50 probably, so I'm just going to say less than 50 for the amount of books that I read, which is probably like 8 to 14 a month. Having 50 books on like standby, all different genres, is a nice amount of books for me. I feel like any less than that, I get really bored for my TBR, uninspired, go into a book slump. So I'm happy with that. Read a literary fiction book because I should really get into some literary fiction. So I have that, and then I have read a new release on release day, which is something I did last year, which is really fun. Have a no buy month. I think that would be fun. And I will be able to do that easily because some months I buy no books, some months I buy a lot of books. I'm going to add read 10 books published in 2025. It's nice to like be reading the books that I'm getting, do you know what I mean? Rather than them just going on my TBR. So when I get a new book, maybe that'll inspire me to read it. I think those are all fine. I'll write those down in here. I don't know, should we go through my whole thing? I've done similar layouts to last year for a lot of them, but some of them are really pretty, so I do kind of want to show you. Okay, I'll show you. Let's just show you. So this is obviously the first page, which I was already saying. I really like how this turned out. I really like the bubble letters with the lowercase bubble. I don't know why, I just think it looks really good. Then we have my book logs. I went for yellow and this like turquoisey green this year. Then we have the new releases for the year, which I have all laid out in order of when they come out. Obviously dates change. I actually need to pre-order Beg, Borrow and Steal and Onyx Storm because those are coming out soon. Then we have the alphabet reading challenge. This, I don't know who originally did it or this layout. I don't know why I said vibe, but I saw Sarah Caroli do this in her reading journal and I really, really liked how it looked. So I have done that. Then we have my book bingo, which I've done double page of this year because it's always a page that I really, really like the look of it. I'm going to try really hard to actually complete it this year because the last 2 years I think I've gotten close but not quite finished them. Then we have my favourite book bracket, which I previously have also had like a top books from every month page, which I just never ended up filling out. So this is just kind of acting as my top books page now. Then we have my priority TBR, which I loved this page last year, so I did the same thing again. I think it's really, really cute. I kind of separated it by fantasy, some like mystery, all those kind of books on this side, and then more like romances on this side. Obviously there's a few like spillovers either way, but yeah, I'm really excited about loads of these books. You know, we've got some Sarah J Maas, we've got some books I got for Christmas, which I'm really excited about. Some books I've had on my TBR for a while that I want to get to. Some Marina Zapata up here, which was a last minute entry into this thing, but I'm very excited about these two books. I think I'm going to purchase them soon because I think I've read 2 Marina Zapata books, maybe 3, and I think I quite enjoyed at least 2 of them. So I'm quite excited about getting to those. I've heard really, really good things specifically about these 2. All of my girlies new releases. We have Abby Jimenez, Emily Henry, Annabelle Monaghan, Ali Hazelwood. We've got the trifecta right there releasing. Very excited about those. And then like I said, some books that I already have my TBR that I want to get to. Then this is another page which I love when it's filled out. I got so close this year. I think I had 1. This is my 25 books I want to read in 2025. I did a video on this, so I won't go through all the books, but yeah, this looks really cool when it's all filled out. Series tracker, which again, I've done the same as I did last year because I really like how it looked. I just put the series in, fill in the little book thing when I read the book, and then when I finish the series, I put my favorite book, like a picture of it, in these little rectangles, which I really, really love. We have a little bit of room for growth. I accidentally wrote Renegades twice, so we have 3 extra series spaces to fill up. Then we have my DNF graveyard, which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 books to fill out there. I might do another page if I need to, but for now that's fine. And then we have my rereads tracker. This is my Kindle reads page. Last year I just did a single page, but I went over that and I didn't note the books that I'd read over that, so I just want a full double page spread. This should take me through the whole year. And then audiobooks the same, but I did like kind of little like headphone doodles in the border, which I really like. I really like how this looks, and I'm really glad that I thought to do it in squares rather than in book shapes, because when you get like the audio thing, it is like a little square, so it's like specifically the audiobook rather than the book. I don't know, I just thought, me remembering that, I remember giving myself a little pat on the back, like, oh, good job remembering that, Holly Ann. Again, here is my TBR cart, which I just am now realising I need to fill this out. I'm going to put every book that's currently on my cart. I'm going to include the books I got for Christmas, which is like kind of rogue. Like really, those are from 2025, let's be honest, but I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be real about it. Here, put each month and then a little colour next to it, and I'll fill in the colour when I fill it in of the month I read it in, so I know when I'm reading books. And then here we have my new bookshelf, which I also did this last year, but I've just added a little extra detail to make it a bit more information-y. Last year I literally just would do the little book and colour it in based on when I bought it, so it was following the same colours from the TBR cart page for when I bought it, but this time I'm just going to do like a little book corner thing you can see here, which like would hold a book up on a bookcase for the start of the month, and then I'm going to fill them in with colours when I read them, so I can see what my like reading to buying ratio is. So I think that's going to be really cute and a little bit more information, which I haven't been getting previously. Then we have my books I've read in 2025. This is just a lovely bookshelf. I think there's about 100 books on this, so it could be the only bookshelf I need for the book. If I go over, I'll just do another one. That's what I did this year. I really like this layout. I think it's really cute. And then this is my physical TBR. I did just like write it down from what I had in my physical TBR last year. There might be some inaccuracies, but if there are, I'll just highlight them off as if I'd read them. I don't really care that much about this being accurate or not. Then this is my January spreads. This is the last page. I've changed this a little bit from last year. I used to do a little calendar in this little section here where I now have this Kindle and audio section. I decided to move it down here because the things that I had down here was like a wish list section and a new purchases section, which I just never really used or referenced. So I thought blowing the calendar up a bit, I could actually write down what each book was, because before I just had a line and I would just kind of like guess which line was for which book based on when I'd read it. But now I can be a little bit more like detailed about it. And then I'm just gonna write either a TBR, I'm gonna use this section as a TBR for Kindle audiobook for each month, or just when I read Kindle audiobooks. Oh, something must have happened on the football. That's good. That is my little reading plan of this year. Those are my little reading goals. I'm going to get on and write them all down now, and we'll get to the next thing. I might look a little bit strange. I feel like I look a bit vampy. I don't really have any makeup on except for a lip stain. It's actually new. Let me find it. Actually got two of these. They're the REM Beauty, Ariana Grande's makeup line, lip stain things, which I got one just after Christmas because I saw her using it and I just thought it looked good. And it's right up my street, a little stain. And I got a different colour. It's kind of more of like it's like a raspberry, but this is the one I wanted and they were sold out, so I ended up just buying it, and it's called Book Too Busy. It's quite purple. I think it'd look better if I had more makeup on, but whatever. I was just sat here starting the edit for this video and kind of just trying to think of what other things I wanted to include, and I think I'm about done, just about. I think, yeah, I've done everything that I need to do to reset. All my shelves are pretty, my like journal organization stuff, so no need to really drag it out where we don't need to. Yeah, but I thought it would be fun to end this video with a little haul for the start of the year. I've purchased a few books since the new year. I just have an urge for new. I have a mix of new releases and not new releases. I actually pre-ordered Onyx Storm, so that's low-key kind of part of the haul in my brain, but I don't actually obviously have it yet because it's not released until the end of the month. But thought we could just go through this little stack of books I have here. First things first, we have Beg, Borrow and Steal by Sarah Adams. This was the first new release for me of the year. I haven't read this yet. I intended to read it pretty quickly, but I haven't picked it up yet. And I don't know if this is going to end up sitting on my shelf for a while. I have a feeling it might, but we can make an effort to read it. This, out of all the books in this series, this is part of the like When in Rome, Practice Makes Perfect thing. Like, she's siblings with two of the people from those. This sounds the most interesting to me out of all of those. It's rivals to lovers, colleagues. They're both teachers, which I thought like would be kind of a fun setting. So I'm very excited to read this. I just kind of need to read it. I picked up this, Bringing Down the Duke by Evie Dunmore. I've had this book on my Amazon wishlist for a really long time. I think I must have seen a TikTok or something about this, like, it's like an interconnected series of Regency romances, I guess. I've had this on my Amazon wishlist for a while and I never bought it, but it's always stayed in my mind, so I thought, why not, while I was like doing a little bit of shopping. And I actually really liked this. I'll talk about it more in probably my wrap up, but yeah, it's, like I said, Regency romance. It's about this girl. She wants to go and get an education because she's a very smart girl, and the suffragettes are sponsoring her to go study at uni. So she does that, she kind of gets involved with that, and then part of that is part of her being sponsored by the suffragettes is, you need to help us, we need your support, we need your boots on the ground, please. We're trying to get the vote over here. So they're basically like trying to get influential people to come over to their side, and she's tasked with this one particular duke. She manages to get an invite to his house for the weekend or whatever it is, with some of her friends, and that's where we go from there. I really quite liked this. I had a really fun time reading it. It's a lovely floppy book, which shouldn't really be relevant to the contents, but yeah, if you're interested, I'm definitely gonna buy at least the next book in the series, and if that's good, I'll probably read all of them. So yeah. And last but not least, I bought 2 Mariana Zapata books. I hear people talk about Mariana Zapata books all the time, especially like a year ago. People would go on all the time about Mariana Zapata and how good her books are for a slow burn. Now, I've never like been super enticed by that, because I feel like I've always just kind of been like a give it to me now kind of person. But as romances have kind of lost their interest, lost their sparkle for me, you know, these like fluffy quick romances, I thought, oh, maybe I'll go back to these because people rave about them. And yeah, I thought this kind of feels a little bit more up my street now, a bit more of a slow burn, let's build the romance kind of thing. I got Wait For It and All Roads Lead Here. These 2 I've heard the most, just like these are her best ones. I've read a few of her books also, and I did really like 2 of them. I really liked Culty. Culty was my favourite, and I liked Hands Down. I've already read All Roads Here, literally finished it today. Really loved it. It was really good. We're not going to get into it. A bit of an age gap, but it's not like a weird age gap. She's 33, he's like, you know, 10-ish years older than her, but she's an adult, it's fine. It's called Pagosa Springs, and it's like a hiking place. It's very wildernessy, and it goes into that a lot. It was really good, liked it a lot. And then this, Wait For It, I haven't read yet, but I think it's kind of similar. I don't know if it's age gap, but I actually don't really know much at all about this. I think it's about a girl who, her brother dies and she has to look after his kids, and then it's probably a slow burn romance with her neighbour. I don't know. Little haul of books for the start of the year. I've already gone through 2, which I think is pretty impressive. It's the 12th of Jan, and I've already gone through 2 books that I bought new, which is my goal. If I buy new books, I want to read them. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I have my, what's it called, my 2025 reset video coming out next week, so this is kind of like a taster for that, I guess. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, let's have a great reading year. Please and thank you. I will see you guys next time.